Hamlet is a play that feels like an old wound you return to, not to heal it, but to understand why it still aches. Set in the cold corridors of Elsinore, the story opens in darkness and uncertainty, where a ghost walks and truth arrives already burdened with doubt. Prince Hamlet, mourning his father and unsettled by his mother's hurried remarriage to King Claudius, stands suspended between grief and suspicion, as if time itself has slowed around him. The plot moves like memory itself, circling, hesitating, repeating. The ghost reveals that Hamlet's father was murdered by Claudius, and from that moment the play becomes less about revenge and more about endurance. Hamlet does not rush forward like a conventional hero. Instead, he retreats inward. His famous delay is not weakness but weariness, an exhaustion born of seeing too clearly. He stages a play to catch the conscience of the king, not because he lacks courage, but because certainty, in this world, is painfully rare. What makes Hamlet unforgettable is how its action and reflection move side by side. Each event is mirrored by a thought. Each decision is followed by doubt. When Hamlet asks, to be or not to be, he is not merely debating suicide. He is weighing the burden of living in a corrupt world against the terror of the unknown. It is a question soaked in melancholy, spoken not in despair alone, but in deep philosophical loneliness. Around Hamlet, other lives quietly unravel. Ophelia, caught between obedience and affection, drifts into madness and drowns without protest, her silence more haunting than any scream. Gertrude moves through the play wrapped in ambiguity, while Claudius, though guilty, prays with a sincerity that complicates easy judgment. Even Laertes, driven by swift revenge, becomes a mirror of what Hamlet might have been had he chosen haste over reflection. By the final act, the tragedy no longer feels avoidable. It feels inevitable. Death arrives not as shock, but as a weary conclusion. Hamlet, finally ready to act, does so with calm acceptance. The readiness is all. When he dies, it is not with triumph, but with release, leaving behind a world that feels emptier, quieter, and strangely familiar in its moral exhaustion. Perhaps this is why Hamlet lingers long after the last line. It does not offer comfort or clarity, it offers recognition. We see in Hamlet our own hesitations, our private griefs, our unspoken questions about justice, meaning, and time. And when the curtain falls, the play does not end. It waits. It waits for you to return at another stage of life and ask the same old questions again, hoping, perhaps, that this time the answers might sound different,